As-salamu guys.
Welcome back to episode
11
of Spill with MIL Dil.
Yes.
So, actually, I just want to say before we go into our podcast, we're not far off from 500 subscribers, are we?
That's true, yeah.
So, guys, if you can get us to 500 subscribers before 2024, that would be amazing, inshallah. So, yeah, please do.
We do appreciate whoever's already subscribed us. We really appreciate the support of you guys to subscribing us, watching us, leaving the comments for us, so we can carry on.
Inshallah. So obviously without you guys, we can't do it. So please do keep subscribing and just share with anybody. And those of you who are like, I don't have a good mother-in-law, just subtly drop this podcast to them and go, oh, have you seen this mother-in-law and daughter-in-law? Just hints. And then obviously she'll start subscribing and sharing with her friends. And
this is the only way you can obviously, the better your situation. So however you can actually engage them with our podcast and let them listen.
As with the subtle hints. Especially if you don't have that. A lot of you say, I don't have that relationship with my mother-in-law. But maybe we can say to them. So if you've already dropped it off, hi Aunty Islam. Look at our relationship. No, but inshallah, you guys will one day have a good relationship. Or if you're looking to get married and you're worried about that,
and look at us. There's always time to improve yourself.
Of course,
to make better person yourself. So you learn every day from somewhere, somehow, and inshallah, if that helps them to improve their relationship, to see our positive relationship, that'll be great.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
And no mother-in-law is perfect, and no daughter-in-law is perfect, and no husband is perfect in this situation. So everyone always has room for improvement. Even if you think you are a really good person, there's always still, because nobody is perfect but Allah. So, Okay, so shall we do our Islamic reminder?
Inshallah.
What is that today? Okay, so today's one says, do you know what is more precious than prayer and fasting? Making peace between two people.
Oh, that's nice.
The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Well, we basically just said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
About, having peace and having our relationship, our whole, what we're trying to put across is actually what this is saying. So, make sure you're doing that. If you're a kind person.
So just keep improving yourself, make yourself a better person.
Yeah. I actually listened to this video on TikTok, and she was saying how this girl's on Dubai Billing. You know what I was watching the other day? And one of the characters on there, she said her mum taught her that basically pure gold, no matter how dirty you get it, when you clean it and everything, it is still gold. So if your character is good, if you're a good person, if you treat others with respect and kindness and all that, no matter what position you're put in or situation you're put in, if dirt is thrown at you, you will always be that person. And I thought that was actually a really nice thing. I was thinking I would teach my children that you're gold. So in that situation, you are gold. So as long as you're doing those
if
things,
somebody throws dirt on you, just keep polishing yourself and you will be.
And you will still remain the golden person you are. But okay, so just before we move on, I'm going to ask Auntie a question. So if there was one day that you could relive in your life, it could be your childhood, teenager, adulthood, whatever, what day, only one day, what day would you relive? Anything, any day.
I always have one regret in my life.
Yeah.
And if I have chance to live that day, I would choose that from all my life. I would choose that day, which is when my mom passed away.
I thought you would say that, yeah.
Yeah, she was ill and she called me, but I was ill as well.
Yeah.
And she called me a few times over the phone, and she wanted me to come and see her. And because there was no other...
And by the way, just her mum was only living down the road from her, so it wasn't she was in Pakistan or anything.
Yeah.
And that's why she's saying she regrets it. So yeah.
So she called me, and because I had temperature, I was ill. So I said that I will come to see you, but I will come tomorrow. But she said, no, I want to see you today.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go. And that night she passed away.
Yeah.
So I would love to have that day back.
Where you could go and...
When she called me and I could go back to her.
But isn't that's so amazing how... Obviously you weren't even thinking that this would be her last day.
No. And she wasn't that ill either. That, I could have thought that she's ill, so I should go and see her. But the thing is that she called me 3 times to try that if I'm better, so I can I go to see her. I couldn't.
Yeah, because you were so ill yourself.
I was so ill myself, and I said, I will come to see you, Mum, but I will come tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then after a couple of hours, she called again, so 3 times she called me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go, and that night she had a heart attack and she passed away. So.
Allah grant her highest rank in Jannah. But, but it makes me think, people say these stories all the time that they told me or they rang me or something, and I wish I'd just listened, because you just never know when your last day is. Right. But at the same time, you don't think like that. Like, oh, today's their last day, so I'm going to go. Because if you did, of course, you would have ran. You would have ran and gone and seen her.
That's why the life and the death is, the secret is, God keeps it to himself, because nobody knows that when they're going to...
Because if you did know, then you wouldn't be living life how you would be. Because like I said, you would have gone.
Because life is for test, and that won't be tested. And if you know that, so it is
sad, But no, so if you could...
There are good days as well, where I could say, but this is the most important
but most, of course.
Relive
if you could.
If I could.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would... Yeah, I could see why. I knew that would be your...
And what about if I ask you the same question?
What day would I relive? My wedding day.
Oh,
I actually would, because it was like, that was, I've probably said this before so many times, but that was one day where any worries, any stress, any sadness, anything, even when you are happy, you have some worries or whatever. That one day I had zero stress, zero worries. I was just...
you was really calm.
I was so chilled. I was so chilled. And even though the day went so quick and there was things that I'm like, oh my God, this happened. But when I was living in the moment, I enjoyed every single part, and like, it was the start of obviously a new life for me. And even like the Look City at the end was so sad, but I wasn't stressed at that. It was just obviously a sad moment when I said goodbye to my family. But as soon as I got in the car, when we went back...
Maybe because you was gonna have lovely in-laws.
Exactly.
Lovely mother-in-law.
Exactly.
And, that's why you didn't have any worry.
I didn't have anyone. No, honestly, that would be one... Because there's been so many days where I've had moments, where like when I graduated, or like, for example, like when my illness and I got better and I got home, like those days where like, that I'm grateful for, but I was still feeling sad or stressed or worried or something. But yeah, my wedding day was probably, so far, has been the one day where I've never ever felt any other negative vibes. I think and it was all positive. From the moment I woke up to the moment I fell asleep, it was just like, I was just on a high the whole time. So yeah, I would definitely. And I think also, those moments that I did miss, that I wish, like we had did we have a chocolate fountain at our wedding?
Yeah, we did.
For example, I wish I had that. So I would then make sure I go and have that on the wedding day. Because even at our Haleem, we had chocolate fountain. Me and the piece, we went over to go get it and it was closed. And so like little moments like that, to relive it so I could do those things again. Not because I didn't get to do it and I hated it. It was just, as in not hated it, what's the word?
I just didn't
get a chance to, and I didn't even think about it. Only until after I was like, oh yeah, I didn't get anything from that. and I remember I wanted the chocolate fountain there because I really wanted it. But yeah, and it was just like everyone was there for you and to celebrate you.
And guys, you can leave your comments what day you could do if you want.
guys, let us know.
And then also
that'd be interesting.
as well. That will be interesting to know that how many people can think about reliving a day.
Because like Auntie's one was like a sad one in that sense, because obviously her mum's not here anymore, but you know, you wish you could have that last moment with your mum.
Yeah.
Again, there's also like a happy, because that would have been a happy moment if you could have lived that. And then, so it could be either one.
It could be either one, yeah.
It could be either one. And some people say like, I heard one person, I don't know if it was a story I heard or a TikTok video, where it was a really sad moment in their life. I think they were going through depression or something, and they wish they could relive that day because that was the day they overcame it.
Oh, okay.
And then the days afterwards was days getting better. But yeah,
and they remember that day.
They remember that day, yeah. Knowing that they've lived this life now in a positive mindset, but at that moment they were very negative. Yeah. So yeah, let us know what your day would be that you could relive.
That's right.
Yeah. So we've been on live twice now, and we have asked you guys some questions. Okay, because we did that in our first episode, and it was more generic questions like, why'd you call her auntie? And
I would say this again on this episode, that for this question especially, why she calls me auntie, no mum. Because from day one, because we wasn't related, and when she saw me first time, she called me auntie, and from there she's been calling me auntie. She didn't change to say mum, because obviously I was okay with that, and that's why she's calling me auntie. She feel comfortable in that, but she's giving me respect as a mum.
Yeah.
No matter what she calls me, but she gives me respect as a mother. So that's why from day one she's been calling me auntie. So if you go this question again, then you can have the answer today in 11th episode as well. But we have answered properly in episode 1 as well.
Yeah, we have. And also, this question, we never thought about it until we started doing TikTok. That, oh wait, I call you auntie. Like, we didn't think it was such a big deal.
No, nobody asked us before.
Even like within our family, like your family or my family, no one ever said, why'd you call her auntie? Like, that's so weird.
And every culture or every household situation is different. Like, some people do call it, disagreeing to that they don't call...
my sister-in-law calls her mother-in-law mum.
And this, my own daughter calls her mother-in-law Ammi.
Yeah.
So it's all depends, because she called her actually, the first phone call she done with her mother-in-law, she called her Ammi.
And then from then on...
And from there, she called her Ammi. And that's... Everybody has their different,
and there's a lot of people who say, I call my mother-in-law auntie as well. And some people say, I don't. So it just depends on your family, and please don't judge us or hate on us because we do that. Auntie's happy with it, Nafis is fine with it, Uncle's fine with it. I call him Uncle. He doesn't say, why don't you call me Dad?
And my Nafis calls her mum and dad auntie and uncle. So,
and they've never said, why are you not calling me mum and dad?
Because sometimes it does happen that boy calls their in-laws mum and dad, and girl call mum and dad as well. But in our situation, there's no any big reason for that. But she just literally called me auntie from day one, and she's been calling me auntie.
And that is literally it. Hopefully now no one will ask us. We still get it probably. And I was saying this on live the other day. You weren't on the live. It was just one of my makeup ones I did. And I said that people said, why do people keep asking you the same questions? Like, do you have a father-in-law? Why do you call her mother, auntie, da da da? And I said, actually, you know what? There's, for example, on YouTube, we've only got 400 people subscribed to us. On our TikTok, alhamdulillah, we've got 12,000 people. But there's like 7, 8, 9, 10 million people on TikTok.
Yeah.
So that, and every time someone
and
new
whoever
joins,
comes new
is new to our life. So they've never heard us answer.
If they had... they have been calling their mother-in-law Ammi or Mom or whatever, so when they see that, they're going to ask. We don't mind
so we don't mind the question.
From new people, but the old people, if they keep asking, that's the
thing. But anyway, so we've got some new questions. So the first question, what I'm going to do is, I'm just trying to think, there's quite a few. I'll pick out some and then we'll just answer those. Okay, so this one's for you. How do you manage to treat your daughter and daughter-in-law the same?
From day one, my thinking was that my daughter is going to be someone else's daughter now, and whoever's gonna come to my house for Nafis, she will be my daughter, and I will treat her as a daughter. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I would say to all the mother-in-law to be mother-in-law or who's already mother-in-laws, that treat your daughter-in-law just like your own daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And alhamdulillah, you won't have any problem with that, because obviously if you do that, the new girl coming into your house, she will be giving you the same way. She'll respect you as a mother. She'll give you all the spending time and all those things to you as a mother as well. So always have thinking that whatever you do to your daughter-in-law, just think what would you do if there is, for example, you asked your daughter-in-law to make you tea, for example, and if she says no, or she's busy, it's not that rude way, but if she's busy, or auntie, I will make you in a bay.
Yeah.
Right. For example, I'm just giving example, and you, as a mother-in-law, you might not like it.
Yeah.
Why did she say no to me? Doesn't matter how busy she was. She should
drop everything.
Everything and do it for me.
Example yesterday when you said, "Oh, can you help me in the kitchen?" When we came home, I said, "Okay, I just need to go to the toilet quickly. Give me 20 minutes."
Yeah.
If she then said, "Well, how dare you? I've asked you, come and," then that would have caused an issue. Whereas I didn't say no. I just said, "Give me 20 minutes. I'll come and help you."
But when I ask daughter-in-law, if I should straightway think, if I ask my daughter,
and she might say no.
Might say that as well, that, "Oh, Mum, I'm busy at the moment, I'll do it in a bit." I won't say anything.
No.
Why?
Yeah.
Why I won't say anything? Because she's my daughter?
Yeah.
And the daughter-in-law, she's someone else's daughter? No. Treat her as a daughter.
Yeah.
Then you won't have issue. And the daughter-in-law won't be, upset or be rude or disrespectful to you. That, because... And if you see as well, it happens in household situations that the mother-in-laws do know that the reason why she's saying to something, but they'll just make issue out of it. Sisters, you shouldn't do that, and always treat your daughter-in-law just like your own daughter. And inshallah, if that girl is a good girl, she will treat you as a mother as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And she should as well if you
100%,
do that.
yeah.
100%.
Because I was hoping, as a daughter-in-law, I know, my mum gave me the talk before, and make sure you do this and make sure you do this. But also I wanted to be loved just as much as my mum loves me by my mother-in-law. And I wouldn't have got that if I didn't give her any time or effort, if I didn't treat her like I... Actually, sometimes, and my mum... I spend a lot of time with my mum, and I did before marriage, but I think there's some things that I do more with Auntie than I probably did with my own mum, just because obviously when I was younger, I was at school, I went to college, I had work and all this and that. I was out with my friends when I was single. I wanted to go out.
It's always depend on situations that, how you...
Exactly, yeah. And obviously I used to spend time with my mum, and I actually said to my mum, and she's probably listening, that, "Come on, Mum, let's go do things together." But she was so busy with her life, she would... with work and things like that. So, for example, in this situation, Auntie doesn't work. So when we do have time, if I say, "Oh, let's go shopping," it's not like Auntie's, "Oh, I can't, I've got work to go to." She'll be like, "Yeah, let's go." Whereas my mum would be like, "Oh, I'm busy." And it wasn't that because she didn't want to spend time with me. It was just a situation. I mean, me and my mum have gone shopping so many times together. We've done things so many times together. But I'm just saying that it might look like, because people do actually say, "So do you never spend time with your mum?" But my mum works, whereas in this situation, you don't work. And I'm sure if you do.
It's a similar situation now, what I was saying about daughter and daughter-in-law, that if your mother, for example, that's why you're saying about your mom.
Yeah.
That mom didn't spend as much for the reason of work or something, and I am doing it. And if I was opposite, your mom did, but I can't for work reason or for any reason, you shouldn't have issue.
Exactly,
That, why my mom used to work, do these things, why my mother-in-law is not doing it. So try to understand the your own situations, and accordingly just think positive and don't make issue neither the daughter-in-law, neither the mother-in-law, for the small reasons. And those small, sometimes we all hear from others as well that even Allah na kare aisa ho कि लेकिन ये सुनते हैं कि if divorce happens and if we try to find out the reason, only little issues.
Oh yeah.
Tiniest issues which made that situation really bad, that that happened. So always try to be positive, think positive, and respect.
But then it could be in that situation. Yes, it might be a small issue, but it could have been a small issue that happened again and again and again and again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then it turns into a big. Yeah. But it started.
To start it, that's what I mean. That to start it with. Of course, they become with big issues then. But to start with, if you start with smallest issue and you really think about that, if that issue didn't happen,
it might
maybe
so, for example, if the mother-in-law to make me tea and the daughter-in-law said, no, not right now, later, then that was it for the mother-in-law. That's it. She's been so rude, and then from then on, and then they
had the negativity in their head for the daughter-in-law or anything, vice versa, for daughter-in-law's head for the mother-in-law, and it happens. But there are good and bad people in this world, but we are trying to say that there is always room to improve yourself and make a better person.
For both parties, not just the mother-in-law and just the daughter-in-law, for both parties. Because even in our relationship, like, yes, alhamdulillah, we have such a great relationship and really positive, but as individuals, we're always improving, like, always, like, say, Auntie will say, oh, I hope I didn't mean to offend you, or I'll say, oh, I don't mean this in a rude way. And, and if it is, she would say, oh, I found that a bit rude. Or
these are, I would call, magic words.
Yeah.
When you have a conversation with either mother-in-law with the daughter-in-law or daughter-in-law with mother-in-law, use these words. If you have little doubt that the other person might not like that, so just by saying that gives the other person, even if that person is thinking negative, will start thinking positive. Oh, Auntie at least, or
like
my daughter-in-law at least didn't mean that, or she explained that why she's saying that. So these things won't.
And it's even like, please don't take this in a rude way, or please, I don't mean this in a negative way at all, but this is what, using those key phrases, having those in your mind to kind of use when you start a conversation. Yeah. I can give you an example. Yesterday, we were arranging sleeping. My family are coming over today, and we were arranging sleep where everyone's going to be sleeping. So I just said, oh, Nafisa and my brother will sleep downstairs, Auntie will be in her room, me, blah, blah. And then Auntie said, oh, no, they can sleep in my room and I'll sleep downstairs with Ayan. And I said, I don't mean to be rude, Auntie, but I think Ayan would like to sleep with Nafis and not you. And then she was like, oh, yeah, of course. We just, I didn't say it oh, Auntie, what the hell?
It's the reason we're saying that this word, she's saying that, oh, I hope I didn't mean rude, but this is going to be even better way to deal with this. So I didn't feel that. But I'm not saying that I would have done that, but if she didn't say that, I would have... I'm trying to
help the situation.
Trying to say that I'm sacrificing my room to your family. Why are you saying that? But no, I did think that, oh, she's right actually, that this better.
But I think in this situation, we both know each other so well, so Auntie wouldn't, she knows that I wasn't doing it in that way. And I think in some situations, even if, I think you need to have that from the start, that I never want to come across rude, and if I do, please let me know, both parties, not just the daughter-in-law, just the mother-in-law. And then slowly, because, sometimes there might have been at the start of our relationship, maybe Auntie thought, why did she say that? Or I might have thought, why did she say that? Just because we didn't know each other, and it's very natural for that to happen. Even with Nafis, sometimes he says something, I'm like, why do you just say that's really rude? Or he might say the same thing about me, because you're still learning to live with people. And they're completely different families as well, especially if you're from out of a family and you're coming into a new home. And this is one of the questions that somebody said about that.
And in our relationship, even though we know each other a lot now, and we know that the other person, if we do say something, that person is not going to feel bad or think that I'm doing something wrong, but we still use these phrases. We still use, because just to make sure, just to, make the environment positive. That,
and healthy.
Yeah.
And it is just those, and I think we keep repeating the same thing, but using those key phrases, because somebody's asked here, was it difficult when you first moved in living with your mother-in-law? And I think that having those key phrases at the start, because we've always said it from the beginning, like, I hope this doesn't come across rude. You always say, you might not like this, but I don't mean it in a rude way, but this is what I think. So I already went, okay, she doesn't mean this in a rude way. Let's just hear her out. Whereas if she went, why are you sitting on the sofa and not doing the dishes, for example, I'm just giving an example, she's never done that, but then I would then automatically go, well, that's so rude. Why do you expect me to do that?
When you expect your daughter-in-law to do all the house chores and stuff like that, if you are sitting, your son and your daughter-in-law sitting there, and you asking just daughter-in-law, no son, that's no fair.
We had this conversation yesterday.
So I always do that. Instead of Aisha, I would ask Nafisa if Aisha could do it, she'll get up and do it. But I prefer that equally, sometimes to Aisha, sometimes to son. Don't feel, make it like daughter-in-law to feel that, oh, why she's always asking me and not her son. So have a little think about all these things and issues that we.
And I think actually going from that question, what was it? How do you manage to treat your? Well, that says treat your daughter-in-law and daughter the same. But I was gonna say about the son is, if you're a mother-in-law and you have treated your son to be, if you treated him like he's a king, which you would anyway. Look, Auntie treats her son like a king, but she's also taught him, and it's very obvious within the way he is, his mannerism, that she's also taught him that, no, clean up after yourself, go and do your own bed, go and do your own dishes, help in the house and doing the chores. And she's brought him up that way, but also there'll be times where Auntie will just go and do whatever. Nafisa will say, can I have this, and Auntie will do it. But there's that balance of, actually he knows that I should also provide for this house, I should also clean in this house, I have my duties as a husband, as a son, but also I know I can be treated like a king by my mum, And
as always, because obviously whenever he needs, for example, some days he says that, can you make me dinner, mom? And I will make it, because I know that when he needs to, he will do it himself as well.
Exactly.
But today if he's busy or this and that reason, that's why I need to make it, so I'll do it. Doesn't matter. So
exactly. In that situation, Auntie's raised him in both ways. Treating him like a king, because he's her only son, so of course she will give him everything that he wants, but also that actually this is how you treat women and this is how you treat me as a mum. And if you're a mother-in-law who has a son, or mother-in-law to be, and you are treating your son like a king that he is, but you should also be treating him that he needs to be looking after the house as well as looking after his wife and you.
Mainly respect the women of the house.
Exactly.
Or anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Respect.
He should have some independence as well. Respect, independence, because if, God forbid, anything happened to the wife, okay, say like in our situation, say if I was in hospital for 3 months because of something, the fetus is going to have to then be able to look after the house and his mum, and in that situation. Whereas if he's never done anything in his life before, doesn't know how to cook, doesn't know how to clean, what's he going to do in that situation? He might, maybe if his mum's not nearby for him to, it's just life skills that you should. And also in Islam it says that the both husband and wife, we were saying this yesterday, Nafisa, but in this day and age, the wife are also working. So actually it should be 50-50. Like if I come home, Nafisa sometimes, there were times where Nafisa's come home early and he's cooked dinner. So then I didn't have to come home and go, oh my God, I haven't cooked dinner, and it is 50-50. If I come home early, if Auntie's not here, because Auntie will usually cook for us, then I would then cook and things like that. If I'm not home and like I've gone,
we just don't wait for the other person to come and do it.
Yeah.
If we come,
Auntie doesn't wait for me.
So we just do it because.
But I think it does go back to, especially when it comes. I'm just talking from a daughter-in-law point of view, and obviously you would talk from your point of view. That a man that's been raised to love his mum, respect his mum, also help his mum, and not just help by paying the bills, help around the house, pick up his dishes, like I've just said, then he will treat his wife like that because he knows how to treat a woman. Whereas there's so many men out there, unfortunately, that they've been babied their whole life from their mum. Here you go, here's food, here's this, here's that, clean your clothes, clean your, clean your whatever, everything. That when they get married, he then thinks that's how a wife should treat me because my mum treated me like that, so my wife should treat me like that. And then that's where issues also between them two.
There is another issue I could say could occur if mother always treated him as a king.
Yeah.
Never taught him that he should be doing around the housework and stuff. And then daughter-in-law comes in the house and she's got different lifestyle. She knows that, her husband should be helping. So she changes him in that way that whenever she does the cooking, cleaning or any housework, and she makes him involved in that.
Yeah.
And he starts doing it. And then mother-in-law never should say that, you never helped me before. You never, but because we don't teach them, we always
did everything for them.
Did everything for them and treated them as a king. They wouldn't learn.
And actually, that situation, that's really good. Because then, yes, maybe he didn't do it for you, but now you can see that he's doing it for his wife, and he will naturally start doing it
for you as well.
Yeah.
So,
like for example, the feast. Okay, he didn't cook before, but now I don't know. Did he cook before?
He was doing here and there.
Okay,
he always wanted to.
Oh yeah, I'm just giving an example that if he didn't cook before, but now he likes to cook and. He will go, Mum, I'll cook. Like, you two go sit inside, I'll go cook. And there's been so many times where he's cooked us dinner, and I'm not saying that he never did it for his mum and dad before.
Maybe once or twice. Not as much, but he usually, especially breakfast, he used to make himself and for me as well.
Yeah.
That's what he always done. But before, because he had sister as well, and I was there, and we both were doing it. And then now he does it more. I never say that, why are you helping your wife and you never helped me?
She's like, okay, we'll just sit back.
I just really
gets excited.
I really get excited and I,
like you said, you've never
help him. I actually teach him that, if sometimes I'm not home and he's cooking something, and Aisha's at work, so he'll call me.
Do you know one time he took advantage? So he goes, I cooked this all, and I said, no, I don't believe you. And then later on he goes, no, Mum prepped everything for me, I just put it all in. So I said, so your mum helped you? Obviously he cooked the thing. And he was like, I cut all the onions, I cut all the... Like it was really... and I knew because the way it was, I just knew you had done it because the way there were certain things. I was like, no, you're lying. He goes, no, I swear. I swear I did. And then later it was like, no, Mum did all this and all I did was just put it in the oil and mix it. And that was it. It was just so funny. But yeah, no, so, we laugh about it as well.
That's the thing, that's what I'm saying, that this is... one of the key as well to have the healthy relationship between you and your daughter-in-law, that don't start, if your son starts helping and learning to help women as well with the house chores, then don't start making issues that are why he never done it before and he's doing it now, because obviously he's changing and it's gonna be help to you as well, because when we get older, then if we need to make and son comes and if you live together, that's different. But if you even living separate and then your son comes and help you out, it's good. Yeah. So you shouldn't make issues.
And also there'll be so less pressure, because I know again from stories and people seeing this happen in real life that the daughter-in-law goes and visits her family, but she spent 2 days cooking and prepping everything for her husband because he doesn't know how to do anything. Yeah. So she's stressing and oh my God, I need to make sure this handy's made, this is made, roti, atta's all made, so that he is satisfied. I, alhamdulillah, never have to worry about that because Lafiz knows how to make a meal for himself. He knows how to make atta. He knows. So in that sense, I don't have that pressure of because then sometimes the daughter-in-law doesn't even want to go over to their mum and dad's because they think I've got to prep for a whole week just to go and visit my mum when if I, I hear it all the time. Whereas if I want to go, I don't have to go, right? Even if auntie isn't here, like obviously if I go, my auntie and my in-laws are all here, but even if auntie wasn't here, I don't have to then worry, is he's going to be okay? Oh my God, he's not going to survive. And things like that, because he always says to me, don't worry about me. I know how to cook and clean and look after the house. And that it just takes off so much pressure on then the wife in that situation, because she can then go and relax and enjoy her time with her in-laws. And it's really sad that there are some daughter-in-laws that do feel that pressure, because they shouldn't. The husband should be able to survive on his own.
Yeah, if any husband or any son is listening to this, they should learn from this, that they should learn to do the house chores and help their wife or mother to do the house chores. So it's gonna benefit them as well, that whenever they need to, if their wife's not home or mother's not home, they can help. They can look after themselves. They don't need to rely on wife or mother to do that. Or that pressure, if they take it off their mom's or wife's shoulder, it'll be great for them, that because they, like you're saying, that if they do go out somewhere, if girl go to see mom or mom goes to see family or somewhere, then the son don't have and husband don't have the pressure that
because I'm sure you feel that as well. Like if you when you go and see your family, you're not like, I need to cook 10 meals because they don't know what they're like. Even if I did know, if he doesn't know, I need to make sure he's got lunch ready, because she knows that we both can get on with our lives without.
I never had that value then, because
that makes it so much easier for you.
Either wife or my son will do it, because whoever's gonna have time, they're gonna do it.
So sometimes she's like, no, I'm just cooked you something. Like, you didn't need to. We can. She does it out of love, which that's something different.
Yeah.
And I think
I just care, because obviously when they come back from work, and I don't want them to be after 8 hours, 10 hours shift, they come home and they start cooking. So if I'm available, I'm healthy enough to help them out, then I do.
The other day, Auntie was coming back from visiting her sister, and I cooked. I was like, right, what should we? I cooked. I texted her saying, what should we have for dinner? Like, I'll get some stuff ready. And she sent me a video of her cooking. She said, don't worry, I'll bring this. And I said, then I felt bad. I was like, oh, that's not what I was trying to say. But I knew that.
No, I always, out of care, out of love, I do that.
But sometimes I say to her, don't, okay? No, you don't need to cook for us, it's fine.
And sometimes I do feel bad as well, that, when I cook something and then Aisha comes, then I even ask what they want to eat, but still if I don't ask, then I start saying, maybe you don't like it, but that's why I made this. These kind of love and care for each other makes a really nice environment, and you want to live in that life.
It's fun.
Start making issues, then it's
so peaceful. Like in that quote we read at the start, it is really peaceful, and you don't have to, alhamdulillah, have any pressure and things like that. I just think everyone just needs to be a bit more open-minded. And also I think as well, like, again, treating your daughter the same as your daughter-in-law. Your daughter will get angry at you sometimes, will have feelings and emotions. And Auntie said as well, if you ever feel sad or angry, just let me know, and I'll understand. If you need time, like the day in your room or a day out, or you don't want to speak to me because you're going through, you've said so many times you're going through something, just tell me and I'll leave you alone, because that's how she would say that to her daughter and her son, and she does the same to me. And I mean, half the time she knows when I'm sad, I just don't talk, and then she realises, okay, she's not in a good, she's had a bad day.
Because whenever we talk, we just carry on talking, and when we have, either of us have something in our head, and we stay quiet, and we understand each other, that that's why the other person is not talking, and
exactly.
Leave them alone.
And just be like, okay, she's having, or even like, like Auntie, because Auntie likes talking, but I don't like talking about my feelings. I never have, even with my mum and dad. They would be like, Aisha, just tell me. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, I have a very strong, hard base in that sense. And Auntie, she likes to talk about her feelings. So I've always said to her, tell me if you're feeling sad. Don't wait for me to ask you. Just say, because sometimes I might not have read the room. because I might be in my own thoughts and not read the room that she's feeling upset. And there's so many times she goes, can I speak to you? I'd like feel good, and and then we will have a chat. And then she feels so much better afterwards. Especially with the summer holidays when it was just us two.
And that's how
they were working.
That's how you can tell that I treat her as a daughter, because I would do the same thing if I feel sad or happy or whatever, and I want to share my feelings with the daughter. So if my daughter's not here, she's my daughter as well.
Yeah.
So I can share it with her. So that's
it's
how
so funny
you all should be.
Sometimes Naveed goes, I didn't know that. And I go, well, your mum told me. He goes, I never knew that. And see, this is the magic of our relationship. I know things Naveed doesn't even know. Okay, I don't even know how long it's been. Should we just do one more? Because I don't want it to die, the camera. But yeah, hopefully that kind of answered your question. I don't know which one. Do you want to pick one? We've answered two in that one. One's about the daughter and daughter-in-law, and one said moving in with your in-laws. We've kind of done that one before just before we got married.
Yeah, we can mention in a little bit, touch up with this then.
Yeah, go on. So the question is...
His question is, any advice for newlyweds?
Okay.
It's a similar things what we just talked about, that, having respect and care. We have spoken, I think, one of the podcasts before as well about this, but we just would say that, always show your respect and care and love, and spend time with them together, and also communication. So have the communication with them, isn't it, the newlywed? Because obviously you are coming to, as a mother-in-law, if daughter-in-law comes to your house, then just give her time to adapt and adjust in your house and lifestyle, and let her show her lifestyle, and you adapt some of the things and she adapts something of you. And same with daughter-in-law, that she should be doing the same, that she can communicate if she feels like she's a quieter person and she needs time to adapt and be comfortable in the environment, then she needs to speak.
And if you don't want to speak to your mother-in-law directly about it, then I would say just let your husband know, because that's what I did. I said to Naveed, because I didn't want to come across rude, but I would say, can you this was before we even got married, actually.
Yeah. This is the first, when you come into the house, start living with the family, or even with the husband and wife, if they're living separate, still just communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate about your feelings, about your likes, dislikes, or whatever. If you already known each other, but still don't have lack of communication.
Yeah, we always say this in every episode, because that is literally the key to any relationship, not just this relationship, but sister-brother relationship, mum and dad relationship, husband and wife, friends, colleagues. Is literally the key to any relationship that you will ever have in your life, even with your own kids. Like, Aunty doesn't communicate with her son about anything, he's not going to know, and if he doesn't communicate with her, she's not going to know. So communication is key. And
stay open and positive mind, and respect each other.
Definitely.
In any relationship, either the in-laws or husband-wife or sister-brothers, whoever. So
I'm going to go on from that, the newlyweds, to this one, because it says, was you scared of living with a new family? Was it nerve-wracking as people do their own style of living? So like Aunty just said about adapting, both parties need to adapt to, or make a compromise somewhere accordingly to them. And yeah, I was scared. Not scared, I was nervous more so than anything, because it was a new family completely. Even though we had met each other so many times before the actual wedding, we went to each other's houses, and we spent time together. Me and Aunty texted, and I was talking to his sister, that texted. Even though all of that was going on, it doesn't prepare you for living with, because obviously it was first time me living with my husband, let alone my in-laws, and it was first time them living with a new member of the family as well. So yeah, it was nerve-wracking, because I didn't want to do anything wrong. I didn't want them to think I didn't care, or I didn't respect them, or I didn't love them. And I was trying to then also manage trying to be the best wife as well as being the best daughter-in-law to the family. So yeah, I think it was scary and nerve-wracking, but because alhamdulillah my in-laws were so welcoming, they kept saying, if you want to go see your mum and dad, just go. You don't need to ask us. Just, you know, they were very accommodating in that way. They didn't say, you know.
And again, that came to communication. That we communicated even though asking for Rishta beforehand, that, you know, I spoke to you guys that, you know, she should be allowed to come even midnight if she wants to come. Do you remember? I said that as well. So communication with family or with daughter-in-law, how you gonna adapt or how you gonna live in the environment. So
exactly. And I even said to Nafis, I said, I'm living with your family. Like, obviously that's what we're doing, but I expect you to be giving just as much as effort to my family as well, because I've made this commitment to live with you guys and I'm happy to do that, but you need to also do your part as well. So it's also because if he wasn't bothering, then obviously I would have naturally been like, well, that's not fair, because I'm giving everything to your family, you're not even bothering with mine. But alhamdulillah, he does, and we have that. He's very close with my family and I'm very close with his, obviously, as you guys know. And it's normal to feel nervous. I'm sure Auntie felt nervous, me coming into the home going, what's she going to be like? But I think as a daughter, like for me, I was really scared because I was just worried that I didn't want to upset anybody. And I think, and I didn't want anyone to feel like if the way I lived my life and the way I had these dreams and aspirations, I was worried that maybe they might not want me to pursue them because obviously I didn't know, obviously, people, because sometimes, and this is what...
It scares you anyway, because obviously all the negativity is spreading around the world. And when you live, like for example, I lived and I knew how many people had daughter-in-laws and was the issues they was having and what the problems they were having. Same way Aisha heard about that. So to start with, you do feel, but it depends on you, both parties, that how you make the other party comfortable to live in.
And it's not going to happen overnight. It will take time.
Sometimes takes time.
And it will take time because you, as a daughter-in-law, I mean, obviously Auntie knows this, but as a daughter-in-law, you're juggling living with your husband as well as, if you're living with your in-laws, living with your in-laws. So you're not just trying to get used to living and having a relationship with your husband and, you know, that loving side and having that communication and all that and trying to do what you want to do as a young couple. You know, we wanted to go out all the time and have dinner and do lots of dates because we couldn't do that before, and now we've got all the time and freedom to do that.
And as a mother-in-law, that if you haven't had that kind of relationship with your husband or with your in-laws, that doesn't mean that the daughter-in-law comes to your house, you make her to live the same life. And you know, so try to be open and think positive that, you know, yes, you haven't had that chance, but if they're having that chance, let them have that chance and be happy for them.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Because, like, you know, even if Nafis wasn't married, okay, I know Auntie would want the best for Nafis. You know, as your mother-in-law, you would want the best for your children to go and be successful in their life, to make memories with their friends and families and be successful in their business or whatever their career that they're doing. So then it's the same thing when they're married. You want them to be successful in their marriage. You want them to go on and have children and they become successful. You either get to become a daddy or a nanny or whatever. And you know, and then you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait for my grandkids to grow up and be successful. It's just an ongoing thing.
And also, as a mother-in-law and wife as well, they should always give son and husband a chance to balance equally, that, you know, they spend time and they do things with mother and they do things with the wife as well. So shouldn't judging them each other, both parties, why they're spending more time.
But like 1 week, she spent so much time with, he spent so much time with his daughter, wife. Why is he not spending? But then the other week it could be he's spending more time with. You know, you can never.
Don't be so obsessed. Both parties shouldn't be obsessed.
But I don't think
pressure on the boy.
Yeah, but I don't think you can balance it. I think it's very hard to balance it.
Yeah.
Because naturally you're going to end up spending more time with one person than the other. Unless you three do everything all the time together, then that's the only way you're going to balance it. But unfortunately, in a relationship, when you're married, You
ups
have
and downs.
ups and downs
You should
happen.
understand.
You have your own private life. You know, like Auntie has her own private life with her husband. I have my own private life with my husband. And we still, like, there's some times where it might look like I spend way more time with Auntie than I do with my husband. But that's not true. I wouldn't say equal amounts, but there'll be sometimes I spend more time with my husband than I do with Auntie, because we have got so many plans. And then when I'm off of work, because I work in a school, we end up spending more time because I'm off of work. So naturally, then it looks like I'm spending more time with Auntie. Like, we started this TikTok journey in the summer holidays. Yeah. So we were literally together 24/7.
He was working and
he was working, so he wasn't home from 8 o'clock till 6 o'clock. So we were spending time together in that time doing bits and bobs.
I personally think it's good this way, that, you know, you don't have issue that daughter-in-law doesn't spend time with you. So when she's got chance, she's spending time with you. And when she's got no time, she's spending with her husband. Then we should understand that. And same vice versa, that, you know, husband shouldn't have any problem that...
Do you know, actually, somebody said on TikTok Live that for their honeymoon, the mother-in-law sent her daughter with them on their honeymoon. I don't agree with that. Like, if you said Psycho's coming with you, I'd be like, no. Like, yes, she's my sister-in-law and we can go on other holidays together, but if it's my honeymoon with me and my husband, which is a honeymoon, I'm not expecting,
You shouldn't expect that.
And I read that and I was like, oh my God.
It's from back, this comes...
That's so awkward for the sister.
Whole family used to go.
Fair enough, maybe whole family, because there's some people who do that. They go, if they get married abroad, and then the whole family stay and they spend their honeymoon, but then obviously, I can get that. But if it's just one person...
that time is the special time.
It is. But imagine just one person, she's going to feel awkward. Because that's just weird. That's weird. I just find that so weird.
Kebab mein haddi honi chahiye.
That is so weird.
That's what they think, kebab mein haddi honi chahiye.
Yeah, no, I just think...
It shouldn't.
Because I'm not even sure, like, I mean, we always say we want to go on holiday together as a family of four, or even, like, a lot of us. And even say us three together, like, but I'm sure there'll be moments if Auntie came with us that she would be like, okay, well,
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
myself.
I was going to say, you would be like, okay, I can see that. What do I do now? I can't, and you can't even go off on your own because you're in a country on your own. You're not going to go. Yeah, so I would, even if my mum came, I would be like, Mum, bring someone with you. So Auntie and Mum can come together. They can spend time together. Because it would be awkward.
Yeah.
It's like me going on holiday with Budgie, Psycho and her husband. I would feel so awkward.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I don't know, I just find that, I do find that so weird. It's even like, you know, not even just in this, like there's a lot of Gordon who go on holiday and there's a third person, there's a relationship and then the friend goes, and like I hear, it was a bit awkward because they were, you know, doing their bits and I didn't really know what to do. You know, even in like
I think it's because they're insecure, the in-laws who are insecure, they think that if he's gonna spend more time with wife, then wife's gonna take him away from us, and he's not gonna respect us or love us as before, because she's gonna brainwash, I think the word is, brainwash him and think that insecurity comes in their head, and that's why they try to stay all the time with them.
I get that, because that can be maybe become really overwhelming in your mind that, oh my God, I'm scared I'm going to lose my son, I'm scared I'm going to, and that can become really scary a thought, and I can imagine that then you are going to try and do everything you can to make sure that never breaks, but then it's trying to learn and unsolve that problem that, okay, this is an issue within myself that I need to solve. My son,
and also if you'll give comfortability in your relationship with the girl, even though if she's thinking about brainwashing him or taking him away, she'll change her mind. Yeah. Because you've been so good to her, you respecting, loving and caring to her, she's no match, she's gonna not give you back.
And do you know what, in that situation as well, a lot of people might be saying from the outside, oh, look, she's done this, she's done this.
Yeah.
And it's those outside people that are putting it in their heads that he's taken her away, when actually it's not even the situation. So then she's automatic, the mother-in-law is automatically going, oh my God, my son's gone now because 20 people have told me, and it's going to be stuck in her head, that's not healthy at all. Nobody should be getting involved in anybody's relationship unless it involves you.
Yeah.
You know, if you see a couple down the road and you start backbiting, gossiping about them, that's so bad. Like, that's got nothing to do with you. Oh, did you see? Look, that they went holding hands. Like, how dare they? And then they're gonna go and tell somebody else, and then obviously it gets
especially in families, if they see that relative of that. Or did you see that? Or did you
and then that's where that toxic. And I think a lot of it comes from family, within the family or outside community. That if you live in a community with lots of Asians,
and it's
everyone talks.
I will say to all the families as well, please, whenever you see, like for example, there are families where some couples are not living happily, some are living happily. So whoever's living happily, don't try to interfere and don't try to make the comments where that couple can be negative in, after hearing all that from others, and don't try to involve. Just be happy for them. If you see them happy, just be happy for them and make dua for them. And if you haven't got that relationship in you, then try to learn and make it better for yourself, and don't destroy others' happiness.
Because nothing good is going to come from that. You being negative and destroying other lives. You're just putting that in your own life, which is not okay. Just be positive and love each other.
That's right. Respect each other.
Yeah, definitely. I think we could go on and on and talk about lots of things, but we're going to stop here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long we've been recording for.
Longer today.
And we've answered 2 or 3, but because obviously these are questions we can expand and really go. We want to dive deep into some of these questions to be able to really unpick everything, and we might sound like we're repeating ourselves, but the same thing will always be brought up in a lot of these questions.
And like always, we'll say that if we said anything which you didn't like or it made you offended, then we are sorry for that.
Apologise for that.
But we are just talking about in general and according to our experience and according to about our relationship. So that's how we talking. But if we come across any rudeness or anything we said you didn't like, we are really sorry for that.
Please forgive us. For the sake of Allah. But no, we don't ever mean anything. We just have pure good intentions for this podcast. So inshallah it continues to grow. And like I said at the start of this, hopefully we can get to 500 subscribers.
We are on, when last I saw it was 442, so 58.
58, no, 48.
48?
God, I can't 58. 58 to go. 58 to go. But by the time this is uploaded, it might be a bit more. Inshallah. But we're going to wrap this. I don't know if it's a long episode, probably is. This long episode up. Thank you guys always for subscribing and joining our live.
And please give us feedback too, that give us encouragement to carry on, to spread this. So please do leave your comments.
Do leave our comments. And if you got this far, what word should they comment down below? Should we just put daughter? Because the main question was, how do you manage to treat your daughter and daughter-in-law the same? So if you got this far, comment down below daughter. And remember to tell us what day you would like to relive as well.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see your opinions.
We would love to see that, what your feelings are about this.
But thank you so much for joining. I keep saying joining because online I say thank you. Thank you for getting this far and listening to our podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Inshallah, we'll see you next week.